Growth is not a straight line. It's not a staircase you ascend perfectly. It's more like a spiral. Revisiting the same lessons, sometimes falling back before leaping forward, and that's okay. In fact, that's natural. We often measure progress by visible change, more income, better habits, fewer mistakes. But the deepest kind of growth happens inside, in places no one sees. It shows up in your reactions, your ability to pause before speaking, your courage to set boundaries, your quiet decision to try again after failure. Growth can be as small as choosing to breathe before responding in anger, as subtle as letting go of an old grudge, as personal as forgiving yourself for something you did with a lesser version of yourself. Think of a seed buried underground. It spends weeks, even months, in complete darkness before it ever breaks the surface. To an outsider, it looks like nothing is happening. But below the soil, a miracle is unfolding. Roots are growing, anchoring it to the earth. That's how your growth works. What may seem like stagnation is often preparation. What may feel like confusion is often construction. You're building something deeper than what the eye can see. You grow every time you choose courage over comfort. Every time you reflect instead of react. Every time you show up even when the voice in your head says, "Why bother?" And remember, growth doesn't always feel good. Sometimes it feels like grief. Sometimes it feels like restlessness. Sometimes it looks like pulling away from people who no longer align with your truth. It's messy, but that mess is sacred. Don't rush the process. You're not late. You're not behind. You're unfolding on time. One day you'll look back and realize the moments that felt like breakdowns were really breakthroughs in disguise. So tonight, whisper this to yourself. I am not who I was a year ago. I am not who I was last week. I am growing, even when I cannot see it. Sleep in that truth. Let it wrap around you like a second skin. Because even in stillness, the soul blooms. There was a woman named Amina who lived in a city that never seemed to rest. She worked long hours, rarely took breaks, and often returned home well past sunset. Her apartment was modest, her life structured, and her routine relentless. But one evening, something changed. As she walked home through a familiar alley, her phone died. No music, no maps, no distractions, just silence. At first, she felt unsettled. The city seemed louder without her usual digital shield. She noticed the hum of passing traffic, the way streetlights flickered, and a faint melody from an old man playing violin by a shop entrance. She paused just for a moment. Something about the music, the rawness of it, reached a part of her she hadn't felt in a long time. It reminded her of childhood, of dancing barefoot in her grandmother's kitchen while the radio played softly in the background. She smiled. And then something strange happened. She started noticing things. A child handing a piece of candy to a friend, a couple laughing while holding hands, the smell of fresh bread from a bakery she passed every day but never truly noticed. That night her walk felt different, not rushed, not routine. It felt alive. When she got home, Amina took out a notebook, one she'd bought months ago but never used, and wrote down everything she had noticed. The violin, the bread, the laughter. She wrote without filters, just gratitude. She did it again the next night and the one after that. Within weeks, Amina felt lighter. Her job hadn't changed, her schedule was still demanding, but her outlook had shifted. She began to appreciate small moments. Her morning coffee, a call from her mother, the quiet before sleep. Gratitude didn't remove the challenges, it simply made room for joy. You see, gratitude is not just about being thankful for the big wins. It's about recognizing the quiet, ordinary miracles that surround us every day. The sun warming your skin, a stranger holding the door, the smell of rain on dry earth, the rhythm of your own heartbeat. Gratitude grounds you in the present. It turns "I have to" into "I get to." It shifts your lens from scarcity to abundance. And here's the secret: gratitude doesn't come after happiness. It creates it. You don't need more to be grateful. You simply need to pay attention. Tonight, before you drift off, name 3 things, just 3 that you're thankful for. They don't have to be grand, they just have to be real. Let them settle in your heart like soft rain on thirsty soil. Because even in the hardest seasons, there is always something to be grateful for. Even this moment, this breath, this stillness, it's a gift. one worth recognizing. Self-love is not loud. It doesn't shout over your insecurities or silence your flaws. It whispers gently, you are still worthy even when you feel broken. We often confuse self-love with perfection, as if we must earn it through achievements, appearance, or approval. But true self-love is not a prize, it's a practice. A daily choice to treat yourself with the same kindness you offer others. It starts in the small things. Drinking water when you're tired. Saying no when your body needs rest. Speaking to yourself with compassion when your inner critic gets loud. Think of the way you would comfort a friend who is struggling. Would you call them lazy, useless, not enough? Of course not. You'd remind them of their worth, their resilience, their light. You'd hold space for them to be imperfect. So why not offer the same grace to yourself? Self-love isn't narcissism, it's not arrogance. It's understanding that your needs, your healing, your peace matter. It's giving yourself permission to be a work in progress and still be deserving of respect. Repeat after me, quietly, just in your mind if you'd like. I am not defined by my worst moments. I am allowed to take up space. I can love myself even while I grow. These aren't just affirmations. They are reminders of a truth you may have forgotten. You don't have to earn your worth. It's inherent, built into your breath, your being, your existence. The world will tell you that you must be more, do more, give more, prove more. But tonight, let yourself simply be, without judgment, without striving, just be. And in this gentle stillness, I want you to forgive yourself. For the times you pushed too hard, for the moments you neglected your heart, for believing you had to be perfect to be loved. You don't. You are already enough. So let self-love guide you, not as a destination, but as a companion. A quiet voice that says, even now, especially now, I choose to be kind to myself. Let that be the final thought before your dreams arrive. Let's take a few moments to reflect, not to judge or analyze, but to reconnect. Lie back. Allow your breath to slow. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. That rhythm is your life's quiet music. Tonight, you don't need answers. You only need to listen. Now ask yourself gently, what did I survive today? Maybe it was a difficult conversation. Maybe it was showing up when you didn't feel like it. Maybe it was simply managing your emotions. Whatever it was, acknowledge it. Surviving is not small, it's the foundation of strength. What did I feel proud of today? It might be something obvious, or it might be something no one else saw. Did you speak kindly to someone? Did you pause before reacting? Did you simply make it through the day without quitting? That matters. Where did I experience peace, even for a moment? Was it in a hot shower, a shared laugh, a quiet walk? Or maybe this very moment? Listening, breathing, reflecting. Hold on to that. Now think of something you've been carrying. A fear, a regret, a worry about tomorrow. Picture it in your hands, heavy, maybe a bit cold. Feel its shape, its weight, and then imagine gently placing it beside your bed. Not discarding it forever, just setting it down for the night. You are not your worries, you are the awareness behind them. Now repeat softly in your mind or aloud if you feel safe. I am safe right now. I release what I cannot control. I am open to healing. I am worthy of rest. Let those words settle into you, like the scent of lavender or the glow of moonlight. Let them comfort the parts of you that rarely get noticed. As you lie here, remember, the version of you who feels lost or tired is still deeply valuable. You don't have to fix yourself before you deserve rest. Healing is not a race. Growth is not a contest. Peace is not a reward, it's a right. So tonight, return to your body, return to your breath, return to the truth that you are more than your doubts, more than your scars, more than your to-do list. You are a story still being written, with pages full of courage, kindness, and light. And tonight the pen can rest. You are enough. You are becoming. You are home. In a quiet village, tucked between rolling hills and a winding river, there lived a man named Thomas. He was a teacher, not a famous one, not a published author, not a speaker on grand stages, but he had taught generations of children in that village's one-room schoolhouse. Thomas never left his hometown. He never made headlines. His clothes were always the same, well-worn, clean, humble. And yet, people would often say, he's the richest man in town, not because of wealth, but because of the impact he left behind. He believed in handwritten notes, small acts of kindness, and remembering birthdays. He kept every drawing his students gave him, every thank you card, every faded photograph of their smiling faces. He had a way of seeing people, not just their achievements, but their potential. He made children believe they were capable of anything, and adults remember what it felt like to be seen. Years passed. One winter, Thomas fell ill and passed away quietly in his sleep. At his funeral, something extraordinary happened. Hundreds of people, former students, neighbors, parents, gathered. Some flew in from other countries. Doctors, artists, scientists, builders, parents, musicians. They all had one thing in common, a story about Thomas, a story about how he made them feel. One woman said, "I was failing everything in school, and he stayed after class every day until I believed I could succeed." Another man whispered, "When my father passed, he gave me a book and said, 'Write your way through the pain.' That's how I became a writer." A third said, "He told me my voice mattered when no one else did. That day changed my life." No one remembered what grades he gave them. They remembered how he made them feel. That's legacy. Legacy isn't always something you build. It's something you leave behind in others. It's not your title, or your income, or your resume. It's the kindness you extend, the moments you choose to listen, the lives you touch with your presence. You may not even realize it, but right now you're creating your legacy. Every time you offer compassion instead of criticism, every time you choose honesty over convenience, every time you make someone feel like they matter, you leave a mark. Your name may not be in history books, but it will be written in hearts, in memories, in stories whispered long after you're gone. And the most beautiful part, you still have time to shape it. So tonight, ask yourself, what do I want people to feel when they think of me? What quiet impact am I making that I've overlooked? How can I love louder, even in small ways? Because your story is still being written. And with every choice, every act of love, every moment of integrity, you shape a legacy that no time can erase. Before the night folds into dreams, I want to leave you with one final truth. You are capable of far more than you believe. Not because you haven't struggled, but because you have. You've walked through storms that others never saw. You've kept going when no one was watching. You've held on to hope when your hands were tired. And even on days you doubted yourself, you showed up. That matters. You matter. Too often, we wait for a perfect moment to begin, a better time, more confidence, more clarity. But what if the perfect moment is always now? Start where you are, with what you have. Your fears, your scars, your dreams that feel too big, because there is no map more powerful than a person determined to grow. There is no force greater than a soul who refuses to give up. You don't need permission to become who you were meant to be. You just need a decision. A quiet, unwavering decision to take one more step. Progress is not always fast, but it is always forward, and no, you won't always feel ready. You won't always feel brave. But that's not a reason to stop. That's a reason to trust. Trust that your courage will grow with every step. Trust that even your failures are making you wiser, stronger, realer. You see, you were not meant to shrink into the corner of your own life. You were meant to expand, to shine, to carry light, not just for yourself, but for others. Even when you're unsure, even when the way isn't clear. So tonight, give yourself this gift. Let go of what you haven't done. Let go of what others expect. Let go of the voice that says, "Who am I to dream this big?" Instead, whisper back, "Who am I not to?" You are here to create, to heal, to rise. You are here to love, boldly, wildly, imperfectly. And most of all, you are here to live fully. Don't wait for sunrise to begin again. Begin now in your heart, in your thoughts, in the soft decision to believe in yourself just a little more. Because your future is not built in daylight, it starts in moments like this, quiet, honest, brave. Before sleep welcomes you, allow these words to wash over your heart like soft waves against the shore. Tonight, you do not need to strive. You do not need to fix anything. You do not need to be more than you are. You are enough. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to feel proud, even if no one saw your effort today. You are allowed to soften, even if the world asked you to be hard. As your eyes grow heavy, feel these affirmations settle into the quiet corners of your soul. Breathe them in. Let them wrap around you like the softest blanket. I am worthy of peace. I release what no longer serves me. I forgive myself for today's imperfections. I welcome tomorrow with open hands. Let the stillness embrace you now. Let the weight of expectation fall away. There is nothing more to prove tonight, nothing more to do, just this moment, just this breath. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel the air fill your lungs and leave. Feel the quiet that lives beneath the noise. It is here, always here, waiting for you to return. In this stillness, you are healing. In this silence, you are heard. In this darkness, you are safe. So sleep now, not as an escape, but as a return to your center, your softness, your sacred self. You are loved. You are whole. You are enough. Good night.